The Mir Yeshiva was established in 1815 and was the second most important yeshiva after Volozhin Yeshiva. A yeshiva is an Orthodox Jewish school for the religious and secular education of children of elementary school age. The Mir Yeshiva was founded by the merchant and tourist scholar Chaytinsky. Some 500 students studied there, most of them from towns in Lithuania and Poland. After the outbreak of World War II and the annexation of Mir to the USSR, most of the yeshiva's rabbis and students left the town and moved to Vilna, the capital of Lithuania. Following a string of events, the rabbis and students arrived in Shanghai, where they remained until the end of the war. After the war, most of the yeshiva members emigrated to the U.S.
The Beth Aharon Synagogue, Hebrew for House of Aharon, was a Sephardi synagogue in Shanghai, China, built in 1927 by the prominent businessman Silas Aaron Hardoon, one of the wealthiest people in Shanghai, as a gift to the city's Jewish community, in memory of his father Aharon. During the World War II, the synagogue provided refuge for the Mir Yeshiva of Poland, the only Eastern European yeshiva to survive the Holocaust intact. After the establishment of the People's Republic of China, it was used by the Wenhui Bao newspaper and as a factory during the Cultural Revolution. It was demolished in 1985.
Hardoon was very, very rich. He was a very non-practicing Jew. One day, he has a dream, and his father is coming to him. And his father is telling him, how come you don't continue your tradition? How come you don't do anything to my memory? That's the dream. He wakes up tomorrow morning and he comes to the Jewish community. He said, I would like to build another synagogue to memorize my father. But I have one condition. It should be bigger than any of the other synagogues in Shanghai. So he said, okay, and he did. He donated it and he built a very big synagogue. They built the synagogue, they dedicated it, and for some reason the neighborhood became not safe. So the Jewish people didn't use it. So he built a beautiful synagogue and it was empty.
Students and teachers of the Mir Yeshiva studying in the sanctuary of the Beth Aharon Synagogue. In 1941, thousands of Polish Jews fleeing from Nazi persecution arrived in Kobe, Japan via Siberia. Japan, then preparing for war with the United States, was eager to expel the refugees. They moved to Shanghai between August and October. Among the refugees were all 400 rabbis and students of the Mir Yeshiva, the only Eastern European yeshiva to survive the Holocaust intact. They were housed at the Beth Aharon Synagogue, with some at the Russian Shanghai Jewish Club. Throughout the war, they continued their studies in Judaism at Beth Aharon and printed books in Yiddish and Hebrew. Some students taught at Jewish schools in Shanghai. The presence of the Mir Yeshiva made Shanghai temporarily one of the world's most active centers of Jewish studies.
In the summer of 1940, the possibility of leaving Lithuania became more real. One of them was the Japanese consul in Kovno, called Sempo Sugihara, provided those refugees with permits, legal passage to Japan, port city of Kobe, where hundreds of refugees were gathered. After some time, the Japanese moved the yeshiva and its members, together with other Jewish refugees, from Kobe to Shanghai, which was under their control. In 1943, all the Jewish refugees and foreign residents that had arrived in Shanghai after 1937, including the members of the yeshiva, were forced to a ghetto. At the meeting of rescue activists in Kobe on February 19, 1941, the consensus was that the international settlement of the nearby port of Shanghai should be utilized as temporary transit station instead of Japan. Shanghai was not only geographically close, but it was also a location to which Jewish refugees could still gain entries, said Sempo Sugihara.
A little bit after, the refugees started to come from Germany. Now, thousands of people came, among them 300 students from the same, we call it yeshiva, from the same college. Basically a whole college of students from Germany escaped together to Japan and then to Shanghai. When they came over here, not only they wanted to save themselves, they wanted to study. So they asked the community, where can we study all together? Where can you have a room that we can all study together? We have a big synagogue that no one is using. Take it. They were there until the end of the war. So I guess God has His ways to prepare things in the right time to the right people.